Sitting with me now is Cory Peterson from the Lighthouse Shelter in Marshall. Cory, you're only 33 years old, yet you've seen a lot in your lifetime and you've done a lot. Before we get into any of that, would you please just let us know, why are you passionate about Lighthouse?
I'm so passionate about what I do here because of my upbringing and what I witnessed and went through as a young person that led me to find this line of work, and it comes very instinctually. But I absolutely love it. I believe I'm the only male shelter manager in the state of Missouri, which is an interesting dynamic that we have here at the Lighthouse Shelter. One of my aspirations is to bring a batterers intervention program here to help end the cycle of violence. A lot of shelters do a lot of wonderful work, but when you only address the needs of the victim, you're not completing that cycle. You have to address and help and try to rehabilitate the abuser as well to contribute to that ending of that cycle of violence. Fortunately for myself and my family, I ended that, and I won't go into detail with it, but that is what makes me very passionate about what I do. And I say it is very instinctual, and every victim that comes through this door, I think of my mother, and I do that for her.
I know the audience didn't get to hear the pre-interview talk that we had, but I want to let you know that everyone's heard of Lighthouse in this area shelter, at least most everyone, I believe. We know the backdrop and the history and all of that, so without going into detail, because we don't need to touch on that, that's not what we're here for today. We're here because I'd like to open up that door for people to send in those donations or to bring their loved ones to you who are in need of your help. But given the history of this place, you are in need of donations. You are in need of that help. You are in need of people coming in here and volunteering their time or volunteering their help, volunteering their resources, volunteering their finances to help. And I don't know if people know, but you actually take in people. It is free of charge, correct?
Oh, that's correct. We are a nonprofit business. Anyone who is a victim of domestic or sexual violence is eligible to receive our services. One of those services includes open door counseling, which we don't charge for. We have an on-site counselor who works here part-time. She's wonderful, and we also have weekly support groups for adults and children. So no charge, and we have two types of services. We have residential and outreach. Just because you don't live here as a resident does not mean that you cannot receive the multitude of outreach services that we also have to offer.
The Lighthouse Shelter doesn't turn anyone away, male, female, child. If they're in need, you're here. Real quickly, before we let you go, will you please just let us know how they can get a hold of you? What number can they call? Any information you can give out to the public?
If people need us, we have a 24-hour hotline that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 a year. And that number is 660-831-0988. We also have a website, which is www.thelighthouseShelter.net, or we have a walk-in policy if people know where the shelter is located.
Cory Peterson, manager at Lighthouse Shelter in Marshall. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Joining me now is Executive Director Becky Plattner. We just talked to Cory. I have to tell you, when I walked in the door, I didn't know what to expect. And even though there are privacy policies and I can't talk about a lot, I can say that I watched some interaction within your walls, and it was amazing to me. Will you start off just by telling everyone what you do here and why you're involved?
Well, thanks for having us, and I appreciate this opportunity. What I do is I'm the administrator of the organization, but I'm also a team player with Mr. Peterson and also with our continuation fundraiser, the thrift store that you are currently in, and you've seen what we do to help raise money daily. My job is to help provide the services that I can for them when they need it, fill in whenever they need someone to help them, so that if they have to go pick up a victim or they have to take someone to a hospital or to a doctor or even to an attorney or to a court case. And so right now, unfortunately, you're seeing us working on a skeleton crew, but however, we're still open, and that's what we call survival mode for us as well. It's a struggle sometimes, but fortunately we have folks that are wonderful about seeming to bring those donations right when we need them.
And Director Plattner, that's why I wanted to talk to you, because I know that all shelters are basically always in need, but you are in very much need right now. You need those donations to come in. You need people to stand up in this community and say, hey, we care about what you're doing. In this short time, I realize the need for what you two do is great in this community. So how can people donate? How can people help out?
Well, thank you for asking that and providing that for us. Our phone number here to the store is the number that we need for you to use is 660-886-9880. And you can call in or leave a message. We do have tax credits available. It is 50-50. The other thing is any type of donation we're taking on Saturday mornings from 9 to 12. On Saturday only, if we can. There is an occasional drop-off, but we've just opened here at the new location, and we are short on staff, but if there's someone who wants to volunteer, we'll take any hands we can to help us go through things. And when we're done sorting through clothes, we also give back to community as well. We give to Salvation Army. So there's that recycling constantly going, whether it's from you giving to us giving to them, and back to the community, however we can to help. That's our goal.
And will you give everyone that number one more time before we say goodbye?
Yes, it's 660-886-9880, or you can mail a check or a donation, however you'd like to do that, at 555 West Arrow, Marshall, Missouri, 65340. Just want to say thank you very much for coming today, and know that the mission here is to help those victims and their families to get a new start and to, first off, make sure they have the protection they need.
Director Becky Plattner from Lighthouse Shelter, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thanks for having us.